Okay, innominate rotation. So the idea is if I'm on the top of the innominate here, I'm going to stabilize this one. So I'm going to take this one into extension, anterior rotation, okay, on his right. So I'm going to get my hand. My hand's going to be centered on the top of it. This hand, I'm going to, as we have it here, here's the kind of top, again, top, anterior, and bottom. I'll come here and slight counterforce. It's probably 20%. Like I put force through here. Now this is going to be very light force. I'm here, I'm way through everything. I'm side bending his lumbar spine. I'm going to take this edge here, and I'm going to try and tip it and bring it forward this way and create an arc. So you see, it's not very much, is it? Because if I go real hard, I go right through the end feel. I want to feel one, okay, it's moving, it springs, and it glides in there, and there's my end feel. I know this is moving, it's got a fair amount of motion, it goes that way. I can then change sides of the bed, so I can see how I came down here now, I lock my arm out, and if I want to go forward here, now I'm going to take this hand here and I do a drag down with my thenar eminence, and hold here, and now, see how subtle I am? I want to see one, I got to get R1, which is when does that ligament, I feel it bind up if I can find it, and then where is my end feel?
Are you doing posterior
I'm doing
flexion
posterior
on his right?
flexion now on the right hand side, because I'm on the bottom half of it here,
Right.
and I'm taking it up this way. But notice my speed, I'm not, no, I can do it real quick, but I'm only going to get the end feel. Okay, what I want to get a sense of is, okay, does it move? How much does it move? You know, is it okay, I feel a springy feel here, because if I go through here, I'll find a lot more positives if I do it fast, because I'm just blowing through the middle end feel. I don't know, what's the R1 feel like? Did it move too much? So I want to get the R1, which is that first tissue resistance, to get a sense, is it moving too much? Do I have an expanded neutral zone? Or two, if it's stiff, it feels like this whole thing just rocks. It's like you feel like a unit just kind of either rocks or it just stops you. There, because sometimes if I'm pushing really hard, I can take the sacrum with it. I have enough force where the sacrum and the innominate are going to go together. So that's where it's kind of subtle. I can stay on the same side and I can reverse it. So to do this test, I can do, again, I got right one, anterior extension, right one, posterior flexion. It's easier for me to stay right here. Left one, flexion, posterior. Left one, anterior extension. See, I can kind of go through it real quick.
Did you feel one more movement on one side?
There's a little more movement over here. If I find a positive, then I test it both sides. I will walk around the other side of the bed and make sure it is not my bias because of my position. I have a lot more leverage being over top of them here. So if I find something that's different over here, then I will reverse my side of the bed and make sure it's just not my, as my bias correction. So if I find a positive, I'll just challenge it a little bit that way, okay? The other test that he did this one, we did one in prone, so let's get you in prone. Stop it and restart it.